Page 23, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to talk about tonic note and scale degree numbers. We've done these already in the last few lessons. We've talked about the tonic already. The first note and of course the last note of a scale is called the tonic. It's the beginning of your scale. It's the top note of your scale. These two notes are, well, the tonic note is the most important note in any scale. It is sort of the sonic home base, right? If I were to play a scale for you, and you know what scales sound like, I'll just take this C major scale as it's on the page. Okay, that upper note, or the bottom note, sounds very stable. It's a home base. I could mess around with these notes, and as long as I end whatever, if I stop on one of those notes, the bottom or the upper tonic, it'll sound kind of done. Have a listen. I'm going to make up something right now. Now, hopefully that sounded kind of final. It sounded like that was the end of a section or the end of the song. But if I were to end on any other note, it feels like you want to have something more, right? It feels like we're not quite done yet. And that's the power of the tonic note. It has a very stable sound. You could make up almost any kind of rhythm, any kind of melody, and as long as you end on the lower or upper tonic, it'll sound done. It'll sound final. It'll sound complete, all right? Okay, so the tonic note is the first and last note of any scale. It's the name of the scale. So for example, this scale at the beginning here, it's a C major scale. You have no key signature because you need just white keys. The first note and the last note are the tonic notes. So circle all the tonic notes in these scales. Here you have a C major scale descending, right? Here you have a C major scale ascending. Here's a G major scale. You know the key signatures, right? G major, from G up to G. And here's an F major scale descending from F down to F. Circle the tonic notes. Where are the tonic notes? Well, it's the note that is the name of the scale, or the first and last note of every scale, right? This should be brain dead easy to do, right? For all of these scales, you're simply going to circle the first and last note of each of these scales, right? What could be simpler? Okay, we're in the key of C major here. Whoops, sorry. In the key of C major, C is my tonic, C is my tonic. And then in the key of F major, F is my tonic note, and F is my tonic note. All right? Okay. Now, next little exercise, circle the tonic notes in this melody. I will leave that for you to do. You can investigate the key signature, know what key we are in, and that tells you what note is the tonic. From there, circle the tonic notes. I'll let you do that on your own once we're done this lesson. Moving on to scale degree numbers. We've also talked about this. This is also not new. When you have a scale of 8 notes, we've been numbering the notes. We've talked about note number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all the way up to 8. If you recall back from when we started learning scales, one of the ways to remember the pattern of whole and half steps was that you have half steps between notes 3 and 4 and half steps between notes 7 and 8, right? Here, I'm going to zoom in a little bit. A scale can be numbered from 1 to 8, from the lowest to the highest note. You know that already. And if you investigate this G major scale, starting on G, 1, 2, 3, 4, 3 to 4, B and C, there's a half step right there. Okay, and then notes 7 and 8, what note is this? Well, that's an F sharp. Again, follow the key signature. F sharp and G creates your half step at the top. Okay, so you know what scale degrees are all about. The first note of the scale, the second note of the scale, etc. All right. Now, using this as a reference, you can add scale degree numbers under a melody, like so.